Welcome back to the Matrix. You're not just Matrix, you are the Matrix. How's it feel, Neo? And today we got ourselves a banger. Daily market news analysis. What is up? What is up? How's everyone feeling out of 10? Let me know down in the comments down below. Make sure you guys are spamming that like button, hitting that share so other people can spam that like button. We were having issues with the XLR cable yesterday. I've ordered some new ones. They should be here in the next couple of days. So if we have issues on TikTok, from what I hear, there's no issues on the other places. So just keep that in mind, y'all. But as of the time of recording, Bitcoin is sitting at $115,500. And we're still in the most bullish posture. People are freaking out a little bit today, but ultimately, today is still a green day. And for the next, we could call it a week, I expect a ton of volatility. As all eyes are going to be on the Fed on the 17th, as it is a 90% chance that we have an interest rate cut. And people are freaking out about that. I'll give you guys my thoughts on that, as well as the markets. We'll look at the charts, the TA, and then we'll get into your guys' questions, comments, and concerns. So make sure you stay tuned till that. We'll talk about all that stuff. I apologize in advance for the Packers are about to do your Browns on Sunday. I will be there with my buddy. Shout out to my buddy John Boy. One of my dearest friends in real life, helped me in one of my darkest moments. And forever, I will view him as a brother. I have big plans for what I'm going to do for John and his family for helping me in my darkest times. So we're going to that game. He's a big Packers fan. It's going to be fun. But, all right. So, listen, I'm going to start off by saying this. And even part of my base case was we were going to rise into the rate cuts, and then we'd have a pullback. We might have a pullback. We will have some volatility all the way into the 21st. You can expect and believe that. One thing is for sure, and two things are for certain. Anytime there is a Fed rate cut, there's a Fed meeting, there will be volatility. Expect it, believe it, understand it. Okay? Low leverage, in my opinion. But I am extremely bullish for October and November, the two most bullish months out of 3 in the entire cryptocurrency market. Now, my thoughts are, I think everyone, and you guys know me, I do my TA, I do my Wyckoff, I do all of that stuff. Obviously, a huge portion of what I do. I'm the Wyckoff master bottom feeler. All of that is true. I'm going to be honest with you, though, guys. A lot of what I do is the vibes check. I'm checking out retail. What's retail doing? What's retail thinking? I got to be honest. There are too many people at this point. Expecting a massive correction after the rate cuts. I don't know that we're going to get it. Okay, and maybe Alex is right that maybe this time is like the 90s. Now, we might get some volatility. We might get a back test to, 110 or even, 105 even. All that's on the table. But what I think is going to happen is going to be a higher low. Now, we found the 100 moving average basically, although we dip below it slightly. You can classify this as finding support off of the 100 moving average. So if we were to do that again to 111, wouldn't be weird. And finding it as support again. Whatever happens, though, I think it's going to be a higher low. If anything happens. Because what was like sentiment number one was retail is too bearish. Retail, everybody has money on the sidelines waiting for a correction. Then they're going to buy it up. And that's been my base case too. But I am putting out loud into the ether what I am observing. Okay. What I learned in boating school is blankety, blankety, blank. Okay. So listen, I am cautious, very cautious right now for the next week, but I'm very bullish. Okay, I'm very bullish, and if we get anything, I think it will be bought up very quickly, very, very quickly. So have your limit orders in. Have your limit orders in. You know, if you're waiting on the sideline, have your limit orders in, my brethren. So yeah, that is where, you know, I think that we're at. I think that everyone is a little bit too bearish. That's my observation. Obviously, I'm very bullish for October and November. And I just thought I'd throw it out there. Shifting gears a little bit to a little bit more TA, a little bit less vibes. Vibes check is everyone is bearish and everyone has money on the sideline waiting. So be ready for opportunities. Any opportunities you get, take them. Take them. Take them. Take them. Take them. Take them. Because right now, Bitcoin Dominance is in a full-on bear market. But ski bear market is bad. Not Bitcoin Dominance. We want Bitcoin Dominance to be in a bear market. This thing is not even close. Okay? Not only is it not even close, this is a full-on bear market structure. What does that mean? That means we have a lot of work to do before we flip back bullish. What does it mean if Bitcoin Dominance is in a bear market? That means that the altcoins are going to outperform Bitcoin. Okay? Now, I was one beat ahead when I charted this out. If anyone was following me back in December, November timeframe, I was a one beat ahead. Okay? That's a weakness of mine. I'll admit it, full-fledged. I see things painfully in advance sometimes. I was a beat ahead on Bitcoin Dominance. What does that mean? This is what I drew out. This is distribution right here. Okay, I was talking about this for 6 months. What is distribution? Distribution is a topping structure. Okay, here's the actual schematic on a topping structure. What does it mean if Bitcoin Dominance is topping and distributing? That means alt season is next. Okay, this is how I had the market read. And what I mean that I was a beat ahead, here you go. That is actually what happened here. Boom. I was a beat ahead. So this is how I had it charted out. This is what actually happened before it actually rolled over and went into a bear market. So very quietly right now, Bitcoin Dominance is in a bear market. Bitcoin is in price discovery. And what else do we know? Ethereum has quietly, I mean quietly, like a mouse, like a thief in the night, has ever so quietly outperformed Bitcoin. On the top is Bitcoin, on the bottom is Ethereum. And anytime we got to the bottom of the range for Bitcoin, the first time Ethereum was at 3,000, Bitcoin goes up, Ethereum goes up, Bitcoin pulls back to the bottom of the range again. Ethereum was at 3,500. Bitcoin goes up, Ethereum goes up, Bitcoin pulls back to the bottom range. Ethereum is at 4,200. I cannot stress to you, one thing is for certain and two things are for sure. That is a major domino. Do you hear me? I cannot articulate to you clearly enough how big of a domino that is. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about it, okay? Nobody. Not one brother, not one mother, not one cousin, not one wife's boyfriend is talking about Ethereum outperforming Bitcoin. Why? Because it's not in price discovery. What does that mean? What does that mean? It's not in price discovery. If right now, I'm telling you right now, if Ethereum was in price discovery, aka $5,500, that is all we would be talking about. That Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin. That is all we would be talking about. But the fact of the matter is, retail does not buy things until they're already in price discovery. I don't know why that is, but that's the case. Okay. So I think Ethereum, it's pulling back a little bit today. That's fine. It's up 50% over Bitcoin over the last month. I need y'all to understand that is 8 years of stock market gains. Okay. I want you to imagine going to work, clocking in, doing your 9 to 5, doing the grind, listening to your crazy boss who's emotionally unstable. They haven't quite dialed in his medication or her medication just yet. Then you got to ask Patricia, can I take Monday off to take the kids to the doctor? I got a doctor's appointment. Patricia, please let me have Monday off. Can you send in this email to Bob? You do that for 40 hours. You come home. You listen to the nonsense for 40 hours. You clock in. You clock out. You contribute like a good little noodle to your 401k. Faithfully. Like it's your job. For 8 solitude of years. That is what Ethereum has done compared to Bitcoin, which is already outperforming everything over the last 30 days. Not 30 months, 30 days. Do you understand? I don't think you understand how big of a deal that it is, and nobody is talking about it. Why is nobody talking about it? Because it's not in price discovery. Retail does not care until it's all-time highs. Ethereum is not at all-time highs, so we don't care, even though the structure is there. The structure is there. Love the stories. I appreciate it. All right, we'll look at XRP. We'll look at others. Gold is still ripping. Crazy. This is red hot at this point, by the way. Now, gold will not be like crashing at any point, to be honest with you. In fact, it'll probably steady march its way up until September of 2028. What is September of 2028? That is the start of the 7th year. It goes into 2029, of course. So in my opinion, it's going to steady march its way up, but this is going to cool off. And what does a cool off look like? Distribution. What does a distribution of gold look like? That looks like money flowing into stocks, the NASDAQ, the S&P, and into Bitcoin, and into cryptocurrency. That's what that looks like. Okay. All right. Now, let's look at others. Let's look at XRP, and then we got to get into your guys' questions, comments, concerns, and, of course, weird crypto takes / weird stories, because I'm here for it. How's everyone feeling out of 10? Let me know in the chat below. Let me know, how are you feeling out of 10 today? About life, give me a number L, and then give me a number for crypto. So number L, number C. All right, how you feeling about life? How you feeling about crypto today? Let's look at XRP. All right. 13.5. Let's get it, bro. Let's freaking go. My man is in heaven. All right, XRP still chilling at $3. We had in my opinion, we have jumped the creek. Now, we've been talking a lot about this. I don't think I have my photo, unfortunately. Let me try to pull this up. I don't think I can pull it up. I will try to pull this up, but I don't think I can. Let's see if I can pull this up. I don't even know if I can see it. All right, let me pull this up, though. So this isn't... Oh, we do have it. Okay. Good. Okay, we got that one. And we got... Oh, that's not the right one. Here we go. Boom. This is what I was looking for. All right. Beautiful. All right, so this is what I've been talking about with XRP. In my opinion, this is the schematic of what we did. You have, which is this is a continuation, essentially. You have your big parabolic rise. Essentially, that's what XRP did. It was at 40 cents. People are like, XRP's a scam. It's like, okay, yeah, maybe, sure. But so is US dollar, so is insurance, so is the 401k, so is everything, bro. Life, the way you perceive life is a scam. Not creating wealth for another man's lineage and not your own. That's a scam. Anyways, I digress. This is a continuation. You have your parabolic rise. The point of that is XRP's outperformed almost everything. Parabolic rise, you go distribution, back into reaccumulation, back up. This is a continuation here. So the end of this graphic here is the beginning of this graphic. And then you go up into reaccumulation. You have your support and resistance. You break it with the spring. That was 260 for XRP. And I said 290 would be jumping the creek. We got up to about, I believe, 320. I'll verify that. And then right now, in my opinion, we're just chopping, maybe a little back test. So we're probably right in here for XRP if I had to map it out for you. This is the Bitcoin seasonality, but I don't want this. Go away. Go away. Okay. All right, bro. Like, where is my... All right, there we go. So that's what it was. Right? We had our big rise up, right? We were just at 45 cents. Parabolic rise into I believe we got the 340. Yes. Came back, reaccumulated. And then again, this is a continuation of that other schematic over here. So we're zooming in into the reaccumulation. And we had our spring at 260. We jumped the creek at 290, got all the way up to 320, and then now back testing. So I think we're going to chop a little bit here before having a continuation. $5, $8, $12. XRP is looking good. That's a big thing for Bitcoin Dominance as well. Thank you guys for becoming a member. Charlie, James, Savages. Appreciate you guys. All right, with that, we'll get into you guys' questions, comments, concerns. Low caps look good. Most seem to be retracing. I agree. Can we look at NXRA, please? Got you, brother. Dumping into cuts, kind of promising. I agree. Ski, one of the best content creators out there. I appreciate that, bro. Browns D's so good. If only offense could get some points. I know, bro. I know. If you guys are wondering if I'm loyal, I am a Browns fan. I watch every 0-16 game. I watch every 1-15 game. I am as loyal as they come. Do you hear me? I came here to get yelled at. The market is a joke, dog. But you've been here longer than me, so I guess I'll listen. Maybe, right? Maybe so. Maybe it is a joke. But you know what? Maybe don't take it so seriously. It is just a big joke, right? It is just manipulated. It is just ran by the apex predators. It is just overly complicated when it's actually super simple. I agree with that. I agree. But maybe don't take it so seriously, right? Take it serious. But again, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying. You're with me. Can you look at ICP? I got you. We'll look at ICP. If the market goes crazy while I'm at work, I'm going to be walking around like George. Especially Flux and Solnick. 10 out of 10. Life 8 out of 10. Crypto 100. Let's freaking go, bro. That's if we had retail, right? I don't know what you're saying. Why so serious? That's right. Let's look at the TikTok. First, you were first, brother. Shout out to Basha. Remember when your wife did your intro? Yeah, that was funny. She is funny. TikTok is so good. What's the best coins to purchase right now? My top 100x play is Solnick by far. I like Flux. I like VeChain. I like a lot of coins. What up, Ski? What up, bro? Why? It's only 90% on sale because one of my coins dropped 30% on the daily. That candle got me. Nah, that got canceled. Why the 21st? Just a few days. I mean, there's an eclipse there, but really it's just a few days after. My dude, what up, bro? The moment we've all been waiting for. It's time. Great content. Thank you, brother. Everybody this week is a master in the history of Fed and macroeconomics, right? What strategies you use? I use Wyckoff. A good noodle. 67 out of life. Let's go. 6-7? 6-7, bro? Bro, 6-7? 5 out of 5. 10 for crypto. 10 for life. 115 for crypto. Can you do Solana? I got you, brother. I'm only using Wyckoff. If you look at the daily chart, right, XRP is going to start phase E. Right, XRP going to start phase E. I agree. I'm with you. I'm with you, brother. Me and you are on the same page. What price should I sell my bags at? That's a very generic question for a really specific answer. And if you want a one-on-one consultation with me, that is something that I do. I have 5 slots available for this week. So if you want to do a one-on-one review, portfolio review, exit strategy, entry strategy, that's something they offer. So hit me in the DMs for that. I have 5 slots this week. It's boring until it's not. Why so serious? Silver. Can alts dip? Hey Ski, how many coins ideally should be in a 25K portfolio? Again, that's a less specific, but still a generic. I'll give you a generic answer, but realistically, I'm going to give you a cop-out answer first because that's what I do. Cop-out answer is there's no cookie-cutter answer, okay? It's going to be dependent upon how locked in are you to looking at your charts and your portfolio and the your coins and the day-to-day movement and the day-to-day developments. How locked in are you? You know, the answer to your life is going to be dependent on, you know, but at this stage in the game also, it depends on what phase of the market we're in, right? If we're in the bear market proper, not what content creators call a little dip, a bear market, like the actual proper bear market, just like how Bitcoin dominance is in a proper bear market, the answer is different than the phase that we're in right now. Okay, so that's the generic, you know, things to think about for that question. It's a great question, by the way. But, you know, I would say at this stage in the game, knowing that we're still in the bull market, 25 coins I think is fine in that range, plus or minus 10. Okay, now in the bear market, I think it should be about 10. I think you should really be heavy into Bitcoin. That's a mistake a lot of people make, is they go crazy on altcoins in the bear market, and that's a mistake. Because realistically, what do we know? What do we know about the Bitcoin roller coaster, about the cryptocurrency roller coaster ride? What is the longest part of the ride, ladies and gentlemen? What has everyone been experiencing the last 3 years? The longest part of the ride is Bitcoin. Okay? So you don't need to be cute about it, right? You don't need to be complicated about it. I think that in the bear market, Bitcoin should be your biggest position of your portfolio. Okay? And then you can have some altcoins, high convictions as well, but you don't want to be too spread thin in the bear market. You want to be in your fundamentals. But in the bull market, you can afford to take some risk. You can afford to be spread out and diversified a little bit. But if you want to get locked down with a, you know, specific tailor-made strategy to you, you can hit me in the DMs for that. Let's look at some of the YouTube comments. We already looked at them. Retail isn't really in the mix, is it? I see what you're saying. Not really. That's correct. But there still is retail in the game. And the retail that is in the game is all expecting a massive dip after rate cuts. Ryan says, how's Solnick looking, my guy? I just made a video on Solnick yesterday, but I'll give you the clip notes, and then you can check that video out. We have been deep in Wyckoff accumulation, and we have flipped bullish on the moving averages, and we back tested it. So looking very, very bullish and getting closer and closer. Any day now, we could start the next phase. What do you think about IO.net render? Really want to get your opinion. Big thanks, brother. All right, so you're asking me about render. I think render solid 10, 20, 30. Matic, I think, is a little bit slept on. It's boring until it's not. Talk about the XRP ETF. Did you hear that sigh? Listen. I don't really pay attention other than it's a thing. Like, it's a thing, sure. For me, and like, I'm just not the right creator for that. You know, I think William is an elite creator at deciphering, like, what does the actual fundamental news tell us? That's not really what I am. I'm like, what do the vibes tell us? What does the charts tell us? I pay attention to the news almost nothing. Because, again, like, I've talked about this a lot, too, on my channel is, you know, fundamental news, to me, people in their brains, they want a rhyme and a reason. Why is the charts doing the thing? In reality, though, fundamentals are so lagging, it's not even funny, right? Our favorite bear of all time, the macroeconomics guy, Michael Burry, famously shorted the 2008 top, right? He found a fundamental flaw in the market, and he made millions and millions, if not billions of dollars, right? Except actually, that's not the full story. What actually happened was he shorted the market after finding a fundamental flaw in the market. In late 2005, proceeded to get wrecked for the next 2.5 years before he was actually correct, okay? So, to me, like, stuff like that, not specifically the XRP ETF, but just the macro news, it's a big deal in the longer term picture, not so much shorter term. Near, I think near 3x. Crow. So many people think they've been clever selling their bags for the fake guaranteed correction. I know. Listen, I talked to. If you have heard it from me once, you've heard it from me 1,000 times. I think it's a bad idea to sell your positions before an event thinking that you're going to buy lower. I think it is a bad idea to do that. I've said that once. I've said it 300 times. 4-hour Bitcoin looks like a bull flag. I think so. I think we're like, maybe not this time, but either this time when Bitcoin touches the top of the range or the next time, I think we're going to go into the 130s. Ski, we get it. You're our Satoshi. I'm not. 10, 20, 30x. No, 10, 20, $30. Those are my targets. I'm ready for that steak dinner with a well-done steak. Ski, you are blocked. You are banned. Do not cook a steak well done near me in my chat. Don't actually ban him. Okay, that was a joke. But he mute him for 30 seconds. That's crazy. Mute him for 30 seconds. That's well, ICP, will it break the accumulation range ever? Yes. That's the thing about accumulation. We'll look at ICP. Accumulation is boring, dreadful, pain, suffering, civil unrest, despair, misery, until it's not. Okay, and quietly, what has ICP been doing as well? Again, it doesn't feel great, but what has it been doing? I don't know. Higher lows. We got to get above $3 billion to flip bullish. That's it. What are we talking here? We're talking the Rolex wearing. Woo! We're talking 15%. The market thinks it's gonna go lower. Who determined that, Jay? What do you mean by that? Are you talking about the Fed watch? Nice chat with William the other day. Yeah, William's a solid dude. So you think there's a chance? So you're saying there's a chance? No, not the Feds. Okay, what do you mean then, Jay? When you say the market thinks we're going to go lower, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Like, who determined that? Every time I hear it's going to go lower, it goes higher. Yes, correct. Yes, Jay, my man. Correct. That is correct. Whatever you hear, whatever. Listen, if you can learn one thing from me, if you can learn one thing from me, one thing is for sure, two things are for certain. Why do I love Wyckoff? Because the shade, the filter, the fundamental understanding of Wyckoff is retail is wrong. Always. The apex predators are running the show. If you're like, but Ski, it's manipulated. Yes, grow up. Grow up. What do you think this is? Whatever retail thinks is wrong. That's why I like Wyckoff. Because what does Wyckoff do? What does it do? It has a way of analyzing the market, knowing who the real players are. Okay, the underlining shade is that retail is wrong. If they think it's going down, 9 times out of 10, it's going up. If they think it's going up, 9 times out of 10, it's going down. So if you can figure that out, right? If you're like in different chats, you're in different social, like really pay attention to that. I promise you that's what I do. Pay attention to what the sentiment is. Write it down. Log it. Right? That gives you a bias. So then you work off of that. Work off of the bias. What is the bias? Like, what does retail think? Retail thinks we're going down. Okay, so let's look in the charts for things that will counter that. Come on now. I'm ready for medium steak dinner with ketchup. Your block's in bed. If you eat steak with ketchup, no, please. Think about the children. Don't. Please. I'll buy that for $1. All right, Jay. I'm with you now, Jay. I got you. I got you, brother. I eat steak with A1. You don't deserve steak if you have it with ketchup. You really don't. It's a disgrace. It's a diabolical. It's diabolical. What's this quadruple witch thing on Friday? I think William made a good video about that. It's, it happens every quarter. Really what it means is there's going to be lots of volatility. Guess what? We know there's going to be lots of volatility because not only is that happening, the Fed is going to be cutting rates. Like, expect volatility. What does that mean, right? What's the implied task? Well, they used to say that they used to say that in the Army all the time. There is no implied task. There's bad communication there, Sarge. There's no implied task. What's the implied task? The implied task is be cautious and if you're going to trade this week, I think there's lots of money to be made. Low leverage. Low leverage. A1 is bad. Ketchup is disgusting. I agree. If you eat steak with ketchup, you're a pie coin investor. Ketchup is for children. Brother, my son is 10 years old, and I've been cooking him steak. My daughter, we did baby-led weaning. I got a picture of my daughter. She's eating she's gnawing on a steak with no teeth. She didn't have no teeth. She's gnawing on it. It's not even for the kids, okay? My son went to Roadhouse for his birthday with his grandparents, and he orders a steak, and he says, "Where's the pink?" And I've never been so proud of my son in my whole life. Exactly. Where's the pink? Good time to buy a spot now or wait? Yes, it's always a good time to buy a spot, especially though there's going to be volatility, so just look for opportunities in the market. So if we get a little dip, that's the time to pour in a little bit more and just DCA. I think that October, November is when the euphoria kicks off. Maybe it lasts 3 months. Maybe it lasts 4 months. Even $1,000 steak. Bro, no. If you put ketchup on your steak, you're banned. You're banned. Perma-banned. H-bar charts. All right, let's look at H-bar. Let's look at H-bar. I think H-bar is kind of doing the same thing as XRP. This is your accumulation. This is your sign of strength, though. Back test the prior. This looks beautiful to me. This is how I have H-bar marked out. Selling climax, secondary test in phase B. LPS, sign of strength right here. I would expect one of two things for H-bar. It's already gotten the back test of the prior range. So I'd expect one of two things for H-bar. The next thing would be a move higher, which would take out the all-time high and just get a slight new all-time high, like so. Maybe back test again. Or go fully on into the the phase E, which would take you to about $23 billion market cap. I like H-bar's chart right here. Actually, looks pretty good. Trump eats steak. Very well done with ketchup. No, please. What's your ICP targets? 20, 40, 100? If you do syrup in the chat, all right, bro, I got you. I think we looked at it. Look at it again. All right, what's the tokenomics on this? Market cap, FTV. Okay, good. Really good. Very nice. I'm curious, where did this go to here? Okay, so this went to the 2618 already. You could... I would expect, honestly, I would expect an up thrust and a UTAD to the 3618, which is about 73 cents, as high as 82 cents. That would be macro. What about micro? When did my charts change? All right, so micro, and then, okay, so micro you could go to $1 as high as $1.30. I think pretty high likelihood of getting a UTAD to 71 cents. $1 billion. Solana gonna go crazy soon. I agree. Solana looks ready to rip. What's my average spot price for VeChain? I mean, it's pretty much at the bear market lows, right? I got most of it in 2022. Let's see. I was DCing in here. So 2.2 cents. Right where it's at right now. Like, that's the thing, is this is the bear market lows. People think that that's a bad thing. I'm here to tell you, no, it's not. Because what are you risking? Is it going to break all of this support? It's possible. It's not probable, though. Not likely. Who named that coin? I've been trading it for a month now. Rose targets 15 cents, 28 cents, 88 cents. Peanut Squirrel. As for me, says, as for me and my household, we serve the Lord. We eat steak with our hands, ketchup free. My man. Same here, brother. We think of Dogecoin right now. Thanks for the $2 donation, brother. I appreciate you. Yeah, savage. It says, I got one for you. DSLA. Okay. I got you, brother. Let me just... Risk to reward is nice. I agree. Like, and the thing is, too, I'm going to finish this thought, and then we'll do your coin. I appreciate the donation. The thing is, too, not only has it been at this price for, years, it's not like it hasn't done nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've had really explosive moves for VeChain along the way, which shows strength. Okay, we did a 2.5x. And then we came back. And then we did a 3.6x. So, relatively, have we been at the same price? Yes, we have been. But it's not like we haven't had price action, too. You know what I mean? I assure you, we did. All right, let's check out DLSA. Thank you for the donation. DSLA. I'm dyslexic. I don't like that it took out this. It kind of leads me to... I don't know anything about this. But just looking at the chart, it leads me to believe that there was inflation. I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. Nope, not really. Okay. I would say retracement is what you're going to get. This is a low market cap, right? Yeah, this is only 800K market cap. So that's pretty tough. Okay. It's really tough, too, that it was at 134 and now it's at 800K. This could do crazy numbers. But, you know, it's going to be dependent upon the team. You know what I mean? I don't love that it was all the way at $134 million market cap. And it hasn't had any sort of retrace. And now it's at 800K. That to me is like a little bit too much of a discretion. Maybe it does some price action though. I'm going to pull from here and give you like conservative targets. That's what I'm going to do. Because it's shown some life, right? So you could count this as your preliminary support. You could count this as your... let's look at this. Right? You could say that that was your preliminary support over there. I'm trying to be objective here. I don't love that it went from 134 all the way down to 800K. That's not awesome. But I've seen stuff do worse. So, yeah, you could say that this is your preliminary support over here. Retracement 002. Which is a 15x. Like, if it does that, great. That's not even the height from this year. So that's definitely on the table. And then, you know, price discovery is 006, which is a 46x. So, potential high risk, high reward play. Charlie says... On-chain, labs, Announced on X, Solana coming soon. I hope so. I've been waiting. They told us in April. I will not pretend like it's the team curing cancer. That I am not upset about that. So I'm gonna be pumped when that happens. That's a big deal for Solnick. They told us last April. Time is running out. Bull run is not over. Is not going to last forever. One last pump. The question is, if it will ever come. Okay, bro, then sell everything at a loss and move on. I have said since 2022 that my time frame for Euphoria was November of 2025. Guess what? That's still what I think. To this day. That is still what I think to this day. And again, the only thing that has happened the last 3 years in the money flow chart, it has went from fiat to Bitcoin. That is it. That's what the last 3 years have been about. That is it. Now, quietly, the last month, we went from fiat to Bitcoin. Quietly, the last month, Ethereum is now outperforming Bitcoin. What up, Ski? 300 for quant. Are you still bullish? Yes. I have been bullish publicly since November of 2022. There have been moments, there have been isolated coins that I've been bearish on, but for the whole general vibe, I have been bullish since 2022. And guess what? Because I knew that this is the answer right here. It goes from fiat to Bitcoin. Guess what? I've done very well from 2022 until now. What up, Ski? Wouldn't large cap, mid cap, micro caps outperform at the same time? Yes, they will. Okay, good. Okay, so that's a good question. So, let's say the next thing, we start quickly going into large caps. It's not like the mid caps are just going to do nothing. They're going to go up too. The small caps are going to go up too. The micro caps are going to go up too. And maybe the percentages are actually higher over here, but the money is going to be flowing into here. Right? And then when we go into the next thing, it's going to be the same thing. I imagine the large caps will continue to rise, but the money will be flowing into the mid caps. That's really what I'm referring to. That's a good question. Do you think Solana can hit $500 million market cap this bull run? Yes, I do. My beard bet is 7.5 cents. Solana will hit 7.5 cents or I will shave my beard. That is about a $72 million market cap. Okay, that's my beard bet. But my targets are 10 cents, $1, and $5.89, low, medium, high. So $500 million market cap would be just shy of 50 cents. That'd probably be about 47 cents. Do I think that that can happen in this bull run? Yes, I do. I missed the Randy Savage sound clip. All right. You know what? That is my homework. That is my homework. I will have. All right. I will have the Randy Savage soundbite back on this stream by tomorrow's live stream, or I owe someone $50 worth of Solnick. All right, Logan says, where do you think we are on the diagram? Sorry, just point. Okay. Good. I appreciate the question. So, for the last 3 years, this is the roller coaster. The diagram, I've outlined this as, I'll explain this a little bit. This is just a roller coaster, right? This is your standard little, let's make this a little bit smaller. So, you got your little, right? This is a roller coaster. That's what this is. Okay, this is a roller coaster, and I make it as a roller coaster so that that's what it is. It's like an emotional roller coaster being in cryptocurrency. And so what this is doing is it's navigating, where are we at? What phase are we at? And how I relate this is the longest part of the is from dollars into Bitcoin. That is the longest part of a roller coaster ride, right? In real life, you ride a roller coaster. This is the longest part. The last 3 years, that's what it's been about. Very quietly, last month, we have shifted into here. Okay, Ethereum, and I can prove this with numbers. Ethereum is up 50% over Bitcoin over the last month. That is very significant. Okay? And then as the ride goes on, the faster you move through the phase, the more wild it becomes, the more loop-de-loops, the more jerks, and whoa, all that, right? So it's not linear. It's not like, well, we spent 3 years here, so we're going to spend the next 3 years here, guys. And then we're going to go here, and then we're going to spend the next 3 years. It doesn't move like that. It's like 3 years here, maybe 3 months here, maybe three, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be quicker and faster as we go. Is right now a good entry on VeChain? Yes, I think so. Like, you're at the bear market lows. What are you risking? Like, think about it like this. Can it break all of the structure of 7 years of support? Is that possible? Yes, that's possible. Anything can happen. That's a risk. That's a real risk. Is that a likely risk? No. It's a possible, as in like anything can happen. Is it likely though? No, it is not. It is not likely at all that you break 7 years of, in fact, it's very unlikely that you break 7 years of support. Okay, so then what is the upside potential? So we know on VeChain, there's no inflation on VeChain. Okay, so you're not fighting against tokenomics. So then what's the retrace? Everything will retrace. That's 14 cents. That's a 5x. So realistically, you're risking, you could say, you might put in a higher low here. That's a realistic risk. You're looking at about 12, 13% risk for a 5x return. That's your realistic risk to reward ratio. That's pretty damn good. In fact, if you find any more like that, let me know. Okay, Logan, so to me, the play is not Ethereum. The play is the large caps. The play is to front run the next thing. Yes. There's no such thing as a safe 5x. But I would say VeChain. Flux. Solnick. Did we get it this time? Last time, TikTok was like, actually, you didn't get it. Sorry. Quant retrace is $300. 180 is my target for AVAX. What do you think about the dude Cupsy? I don't think about other dudes. Not even a little. I spend zero time thinking about other dudes. $10 for render. How low is ETH going? When? On what time frame? He says, well, he made $7 million off of meme coin. That's great. I'm pumped for him. I'm pumped for him. Easy come, easy go. Before rate cuts, a higher low at best. At best. Best case, as in you're an investor looking for good opportunities. The best opportunity that I think that you may get if you're lucky, blessed, and highly favored. $4,300. If you're lucky, blessed, and highly favored. I am not convinced that we're going to have this crazy crash like everyone thinks at this point. Silver price prediction, $72. That is like a long... Silver will take a long time to do that, though. One minute Bitcoin, 12K ETH. Silver doesn't move like crypto. Like, that's going to take a decade to play out. But that's my target, is 7,200. By the way, you want to talk about, like, Wyckoff. Like, I'm telling you now, this is what I teach, guys. I teach Wyckoff. I teach it privately if you want to do one-on-one consultations. I teach it in my Telegram. Wyckoff works on every asset. Look at this. I promise you, in my Patreon videos, in my Telegram videos, I promise you on everything. We had this marked out at the back test. I had this marked out at, like, we'll call it $20. Because what is this? This is the markup. That's what that is. Silver is in full-on markup territory. It's got to get above the all-time high. That's going to be a big deal. This is in full-on markup for silver. I have video evidence that I marked this out. Like, I pulled up silver, and guess what? All this stuff was here. The SOS, the BU, the spring, the LPS, the selling climax, the automatic reaction, all that was here. Why was it all here? Because I already marked it out months ago. You think 6K next week? No, not necessarily. Is there a way of measuring markup on the assets? Yes, Fibonacci's. IO.net. That's where I got the $72 from. 1618. Fibonacci's is the source code. That is the code of the universe. Everything is perfectly mathematically coded. What that means to you, I don't know. It's all ones and zeros. This code 1618 is the golden ratio. That is in everything. Everything, everything. Everything, everything. IO.net. Hi, Ski. What's up, fam? Not really enough data. This looks like accumulation, though. I'd like to see it hold. This was clearly distribution over here. Let's check out the tokenomics. Decent bit of inflation ahead. I don't know what the token unlock is. Retracement is 240. Price discovery $7. Enjoying the cool weather in Phoenix down to 103. That's insane. XRP tops at $5. I think that's super probable. 5, 8, and 12 have been my targets since 2022 when XRP was at 30 cents. Those have been my targets. XLM, $1.11, 222. That's insane. All right, guys, if you guys want to set up a one-on-one consultation with me, I teach one-on-one Wyckoff Fibonacci's, my entire trading strategy. We can do that. We can do a portfolio review, a personalized exit strategy, a personalized entry strategy. I have 5 slots available for this week, so hit me in the DMs for that if you're interested. If not, I'll see you till next time. I'll be live about the same time tomorrow. Be there or be square. If you're square, you're not around. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I will never message you first. If your boy Ski messages you, that is a scammer. If you message me, I will message you back. And if you're worried if you have the right Ski and you're trying to book a call, I will hop on a Google Meet or Telegram video chat or Instagram video chat to say, hey, I'm the real Ski. But all right, guys, that's going to be it for this time. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Peace, love, prosperity, God first.